Welcome back to another Maternity Monday episode. I am Dr. Dali and I am here with Dr. Valerie. And today we're going to be talking about babies and chiropractic. So, two of our favorite topics. And why it's so important for them since day one.
Absolutely. Whether you have just welcomed a newborn or have a toddler running around, this episode is for you. Because one of the biggest thing we want as parents is to know what is a subluxation or a misalignment in the spine can happen from day one, or it will happen a month after your baby was born. So it's a common question. So let's start with the causes of a subluxation. In general, they are created by physical, chemical, and mental stressors. But when it comes to babies and children, we're especially focused on physical stress starting from the birth process itself.
Yes, just think about it. Even if you have a natural birth, that can place a lot of pressure on your baby's spine and nervous system. We are not the only ones working hard to push a baby out. Babies are working inside of us to push themselves out too. So they are working as well as we are when the birth process is happening. And if there is tools like forceps or vacuums, or even if you had a C-section performed, those are going to add up even more potential for trauma and subluxations of baby spine. And that is why we recommend that newborns will be checked by chiropractors as soon as possible after birth. I usually tell my mamas to bring them right after the hospital or even on their way to the pediatrician or something like that. It's very important to have them checked right after birth. My three kids were just a couple of hours after I gave birth to them. So it is very important and good for them. And it's a gentle, very specific adjustment, and it's going to help relieve a spinal stress. And that may have been caused by positioning on the uterus or in the journey through the birth canal or a C-section. And we are not talking about anything harsh. Infant adjustments are very, very gentle. Most babies are going to be calm or they will even fall asleep during the process, the adjustment. And it's a pressure that we use about the same as when you check an avocado, a peach, or something if it's ready. It's like literally just like, oh, okay, that's it. And we call it sustained contact. And some of us, we can use an instrument too, which is called an activator, to use maybe a little bit of extra precision on the adjustment.
I like that you mentioned that, and I just want to say, like, a lot of the time, I know there are crazy videos in YouTube or things like that, not in babies, but in adults, and people think like, oh, you will do the same to my baby because that's something that patients told me, or like, mom, bring the baby, and it's like dad want to come to the adjustment because they are afraid what are like the adult adjustment on the baby. It's like, no, it's not like that. And another thing that I usually tell my patients is like, if you take your finger and put pressure in your eye, is the same pressure we do on a baby. So that way you can feel it on yourself and see that it's really gentle.
Yeah, and they're afraid that we're gonna crack their bones, and the bones
Yes.
are going to, babies are mostly cartilage, it's not even bones. So you're never gonna hear that on a baby.
It's good that everybody have that clear.
Yeah.
as as your baby grows, those physical stressors keep coming. Think about it like crawling, walking, falling in the bump, into furniture, playing sport, learning to ride a bike. All of this thing can cause a subluxation. Even sitting in the car seat for a long period of time or sleeping in them can contribute to that. And once backpack and screens enter in the picture, just imagine that. We're all talking about like micro traumas that can really add over time. Here's a powerful stat. A study published in the Journal of Manipulation and Physiological Therapeutics found that 74% of infants experience some form of spinal misalignment after birth.
Yes, and at that about the car seat, I always recommend to just use as less as possible. Whenever
Yes.
you go somewhere, get them out of the car seat. There is a holder that comes, right? They're beautiful ones, fancy ones, if you don't like the look of one of them. But just try to hold your baby all the time. Like the car seat is not great for their spines.
Yes.
So I
And
know
I like
it's
that you,
comfortable, but it's convenient. But yeah, if you can just get the baby out of the car seat every time you get somewhere else, they will fall asleep again if they're
yeah.
sleeping.
And the car seat is a good example. Like a lot of time parents are like, oh, the baby hate the car seat. As soon as I put it there, they start crying. And sometimes I tell them like, do you never think about like maybe they feel uncomfortable or they have pain in their back because of all the time because it had never been adjusted. And that could be the problem and why your baby looks so uncomfortable. It could be in the car seat. It could be like just laying in bed. Sometimes like, oh,
Hmm.
my baby doesn't want to lay in bed or in their back. It's like, do you ever think about that? And they're like, no. It's like they have a spine the same as
Yeah.
you. And when you sleep funny or you hit yourself or you spend a lot of time in the sofa, then you have pain on your back and your body. The same happened to your baby. It's just they're unable to tell you like, mom, this hurt. Like I don't feel good.
Yeah.
So we need to start thinking about babies the same way we think about our bodies because they're feeling the same.
Yes, yes. And one thing that is very important for people to understand is that us chiropractors, we do not treat symptoms or conditions. We remove nerve interference, subluxations caused by spinal misalignments so that the body can function and heal the way it is designed to. And so many parents bring their children for many issues. For example, latching problems, colics, ear infections, asthmas and allergies, digestive issues, sleep issues, even bedwetting. And the most important is for them to reach their milestones too. If your nervous system, if your body is properly functioning, and if your body is aligned, your babies are going to do great tummy time. They're gonna start crawling, they're gonna walk, and all the milestones that we need, they will be reached by the time that they're supposed to if their nervous system is functioning correctly. Um, Everything in the body will communicate better and will help boost their immune system, emotional regulation, and physical development, all of it together.
One thing that I want to mention that we did not say there, it's constipation. It's
Yeah,
like chiropractic care, it's awesome for constipations in kids. It's like I have been seeing kids like 4 days not going to the bathroom or things like that. That's really uncomfortable for a baby. And after a gentle adjustment, they go. There's some parents that always tell me like, oh, we know every time we come and get adjusted, we're gonna have a dirty diaper in our way home. So it's something that some parents can have in mind too, because it's a really, really common problem in kids.
yeah. Well, there's a nickname, the pooping doctors too. I've heard that before too. Or the patients come like, can you please put the pooping bottom? Can you push it, please? It has been a
Oh,
lot. So yeah, definitely a big one.
FYI, not just in kids, in adults too. Some adults
Yeah.
tell me that as well, just to have that in mind. So And this is not just about avoiding illness. So, research showed that many adults' spinal issues actually begin in childhood. Early chiropractic care is at the foundation of a lifetime of better posture, alignment, and nervous system health. We have seen it over and over again in practice. Parents who start chiropractic care with their little ones often notice they sleep better, they nurse better, effectively, they cry less and seem more at ease. Chiropractic care really is about helping every child express their full genetic potential. It is not just about chasing symptoms, it's about supporting the body's natural ability to adapt and thrive. Um, Something that we can think about when we say about like there are problems that start when you're a baby. When you're a baby and you start crawling, that's the time that you develop the curve of your neck and your lower back. And a lot of the time, it's common to see adults that say, like, I had so much lower back pain in their 20s or early ages. And then when you start asking them about questions about when they were a kid, some of them skip crawling that was really important, or they crawl for a short period of time. And all those small things that on that time, I'm sure their parents never think about that was going to cause a problem when they're like 20 or 25. That was the reason. And that's why it's important, not just because your baby had any symptom or pains, just be sure that your baby is having every milestone on time. And if not, just correct whatever is happening. It's like crawling with a leg, like straightening one leg and not crawling correctly. Say why that's happening. It's good your baby's crawling, but why it's happening, so we can help you so your baby can have the best development possible.
Yes, definitely. It's very important, crawling. Even nowadays, they say no, but it is. It is a very important milestone along the way. So, if you are wondering whether your baby or child or kid in general should be checked, the answer is yes. Please have them checked. The earlier the better, because we're not just looking at what's happening now, we're supporting their long-term health and development. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Maternity Monday. And if these spark questions or curiosity, we would love to hear from you. So you can ask any questions in the comments. And if you ever had a positive experience with pediatric chiropractic, share it in the comments or tag us on Instagram.
Yes. So we will see everybody next week for another episode.
Yes.